What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Michel, and today we're diving into some explosive NFL news that's got the entire league buzzing, and it's hitting close to home for us Raiders fans. Imagine this. One of the most dominant defensive players in NFL history, Myles Garrett, just dropped a bombshell by requesting a trade from the Cleveland Browns. And guess who's weighing in on this drama? None other than our very own Maxx Crosby. Buckle up, because this could shake up the entire AFC, and we're breaking it all down right here on your go-to spot for Las Vegas Raiders news. Let's get into it. But here's the kicker, Raider Nation. What if Myles Garrett, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, ends up in the AFC West? Could he be the missing piece for a rival like the Chiefs or Chargers? Or, and hear me out, could the Raiders make a move to pair him with Maxx Crosby and create the most fearsome pass rushing duo in NFL history? Stick around, because we're about to break down every angle of this story, including what Max himself had to say about it. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Alright, let's set the stage. On Monday, February 3rd, 2025, Myles Garrett, the star defensive end for the Cleveland Browns, sent shockwaves through the NFL by publicly requesting a trade. This isn't just any player, Raider Nation. This is a 6-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first-team All-Pro, and the 2023 NFL Defensive Player of the Year. The man's stats are straight up ridiculous. 352 tackles, 116 tackles for loss, 200 quarterback hits, 20 forced fumbles, and 102.5 sacks. He's a future Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. But why now? Why is Garrett ready to leave Cleveland after 8 years? Garrett made it crystal clear in his statement he wants to win a Super Bowl. He said, and I quote, "While I've loved calling this city my home, my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent." Raider Nation, let's be real. The Browns have only made the playoffs twice in Garrett's 8 seasons, and last year they finished a dismal 3-14. Garrett's tired of rebuilding. He's 29 years old, about to turn 30, and he knows his window to win a ring is closing. This is a man who's putting his legacy on the line to chase greatness. But what does this mean for the rest of the league? Now here's where it gets really interesting for us Raiders fans. Our very own Maxx Crosby, one of the best pass rushers in the game, weighed in on Garrett's trade request during the latest episode of his podcast, The Rush. Max didn't hold back, and his comments are pure gold. He said, "He's an all-pro player, one of the best rushers in the league. He's been there for a while. It's the ultimate team sport. That's the hard part. You see it in basketball. Basketball's a little different. You get 2 superstars and you're good. In football, you've got to have the right front office, the right coaching, players at every level to have a chance." Max gets it, Raider Nation. He knows how tough it is to win in this league. But here's the part that really hit home for me as a Raiders fan. Max brought up Joe Thomas, the legendary Browns offensive lineman who spent his entire career in Cleveland without ever winning a playoff game. Max said, "I bet Joe Thomas, if he looked back, he'd say, 'Man, I wish I had a chance to win a Super Bowl.'" That's powerful stuff, Raider Nation. Max is showing empathy for Garrett, understanding that at the end of the day, every player wants to compete for a championship. And let's be honest, Max and Garrett have a lot in common. They're both elite pass rushers who've carried their teams through tough times. But while Garrett's ready to move on, Max has made it clear he's a Raider for life. Let's talk numbers for a second. Garrett's about to turn 30, and he's got 2 years left on his current deal with the Browns, a 5-year, $125 million contract. But here's the kicker. Any team that trades for him will likely have to extend him, and we're talking big money. Think about it. Nick Bosa with the 49ers just signed a 5-year, $170 million deal. Garrett's production is right up there, so he could easily command something similar. Raider Nation, this isn't just a trade for a player, it's a massive investment. But for a contender, it might be worth every penny. Now let's bring this back to our Raiders. Could Myles Garrett end up in the AFC West? Imagine the chaos if the Chiefs or Chargers landed him. Patrick Mahomes or Justin Herbert with Garrett on their defense? That's a nightmare scenario for us. But here's the wild thought. What if the Raiders made a move? Pairing Garrett with Maxx Crosby would be straight up unfair. We're talking about 2 of the top 5 pass rushers in the NFL on the same defensive line. The Raiders already have the second highest cap space in the league for 2025, over $92 million according to recent reports. Could we make it happen, or is it just a pipe dream? Let's break it down. Trading for Garrett would cost a fortune, probably a first-round pick, additional assets, and maybe even a player. Some GMs around the league are saying it could take 2 first-round picks or a first and multiple seconds. The Raiders have the draft capital with picks in the first, second, and third rounds in 2020. Dakin Marot 25. But here's the catch. The Browns have been adamant that they're not trading Garrett. Their GM, Andrew Berry, said just last week that he wouldn't trade him for 2 first-rounders. But with Garrett going public, the pressure's on. Players usually get their way in these situations, Raider Nation. So the door might be cracked open. I did some digging on the latest Las Vegas Raiders news, and the experts are all over this. CBS Sports listed the Raiders as a potential landing spot for Garrett, citing our cap space and the chance to pair him with Crosby. NFL.com's Eric Edholm also mentioned us as a dark horse candidate, but he pointed out the challenges, like the Browns' reluctance to trade within the division. Raider Nation, this is where you come in. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should the Raiders go all in for Garrett, or should we focus on building through the draft? Let's circle back to Maxx Crosby. On his podcast, he said something that really stuck with me. At the end of the day, you're putting your body on the line. Your window isn't forever. That's a reminder for all of us, Raider Nation. Max is 27, in the prime of his career, and he's committed to the Raiders, but he knows how short these windows are. Garrett's trade request is a wake-up call for every team in the league. If you've got a chance to win now, you've got to go for it. And for us Raiders fans, it's a reminder that we need to maximize Max's prime years too. This offseason is shaping up to be wild, Raider Nation. Garrett's not the only star on the move. Cooper Kupp from the Rams is also rumored to be looking for a new team. It's like the NFL's version of musical chairs, and the Raiders need to make sure we're not left standing when the music stops. The new league year starts on March 12th, 2025, and that's when trades can officially happen. Until then, it's all speculation, but the buzz is real. What other moves do you think the Raiders should make this offseason? Let me know in the comments. Let's zoom out for a second. The AFC West is already a gauntlet, with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, Justin Herbert and the Chargers, and Sean Payton's Broncos trying to rebuild. If Garrett lands with any of those teams, it's a game changer, but if the Raiders could pull off a miracle and land him, we'd be the ones sending shockwaves through the division. Raider Nation, this is the kind of move that could define the next decade for us, but it's a long shot. Do you think it's worth the risk? Alright, Raider Nation, I want to hear from you. If you were the Raiders GM, would you trade for Myles Garrett? What would you give up? And if not, who's your dream target for the offseason? Drop your hottest takes in the comments, because this is your channel and your voice matters. Let's keep this conversation going. Hit that like button if you're as hyped as I am about the potential moves for our Raiders. Quick update, Raider Nation. I just checked the latest from Raiders news and Las Vegas Raiders official sites, and there's no new movement on Garrett as of today, February 6th, 2025. But the buzz is still alive, and teams are reportedly lining up to make offers. If anything breaks, you know I'll be back with an emergency video to keep you in the loop. Make sure you're subscribed and have those notifications on, because you don't want to miss a single update on your Las Vegas Raiders news. At the end of the day, Raider Nation, this Garrett situation is a reminder of how high the stakes are in the NFL. The Raiders are building something special under coach Pete Carroll, and with Maxx Crosby leading the charge, we've got a foundation to compete. Whether we land Garrett or not, one thing's for sure, this offseason is our chance to make a statement. Let's trust the process, but let's also dream big, because in Raider Nation we don't just aim to compete, we aim to dominate. That's it for today's breakdown, Raider Nation. If you love this deep dive into the Myles Garrett trade drama and Maxx Crosby's reaction, smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest Las Vegas Raiders news. Share this video with your fellow Raiders fans, because we're building something special here. Until next time, stay loud, stay proud, and remember, once a Raider, always a Raider. Let's go. Raider Nation, brace yourselves for this bombshell. Greg Olsen is back in Las Vegas. For the 3rd time in his career, he's returning to our beloved franchise, now working under the legendary Pete Carroll and new offensive coordinator Chip Kelly. Olsen has previously served as the Raiders' offensive coordinator in 2 separate stints, 2013-2014 and 2018-2021, but this time he's taking on a new role, bringing his wealth of experience to the coaching staff. This return raises the big question, will the third time be the charm? Olsen knows the Raiders' culture and has worked closely with quarterbacks at a high level. His arrival might be the missing piece to reignite an offense that struggled with consistency last season. One thing that makes this hiring even more intriguing is the connection between Olsen and Pete Carroll. In 2023, Olsen was the quarterback's coach for the Seattle Seahawks during Carroll's final season as head coach there. Now they reunite in Las Vegas, and this partnership could be crucial in revitalizing the Raiders' offense. Carroll's experience in the NFL combined with Olsen's quarterback expertise makes for a promising duo. Together, they could bring stability and creativity to an offense that desperately needs more firepower to compete in the AFC. If there's any doubt about Olsen's ability, just look at what he did with Geno Smith last season. Under his guidance in Seattle, Smith put up solid numbers, 3,624 passing yards, 323 completions, and 20 touchdowns. He finished the season with a respectable 92.1 passer rating. These stats prove that Olsen knows how to maximize a quarterback's potential. If he could help Geno Smith elevate his game, imagine what he can do with the talent in Las Vegas. This is exactly the type of development the Raiders need to find long-term success at the QB position. Last season exposed multiple flaws in the Raiders' offense, and Olsen's return could be the first step toward fixing them. His system knowledge and QB experience could be a game changer. With him working alongside Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly, we can expect major shifts in how this offense operates. The biggest challenge will be turning a talented yet inconsistent unit into a dangerous offensive force. Olsen has already proven he can get the best out of his players. If everything clicks, the Raiders could finally develop a clear offensive identity. Alongside Olsen, the Raiders made another big coaching move, hiring Chip Kelly as offensive coordinator. Coming straight from the college football world where he led Ohio State to a national championship, Kelly brings a history of innovation and aggressive offensive play calling. The Olsen-Kelly duo has the potential to be explosive. While Kelly brings a modern, fast-paced style, Olsen adds NFL experience and quarterback expertise. If these two can align their philosophies, the Raiders' offense could be one of the most exciting in the league next season. Since entering the NFL, Olsen has played a major role in quarterback development. He started his journey as the 49ers quarterbacks coach in 2001 and has since worked with multiple teams, always leaving his mark. This experience could be crucial for the Raiders, who are still searching for a long-term solution at quarterback. Olsen knows how to shape talent and might be the perfect mentor for whoever takes over the position. That leaves 2 possibilities: signing a veteran quarterback in free agency or drafting a young prospect in the 2025 NFL Draft. Regardless of the choice, Olsen will play a crucial role in developing the Raiders' next QB leader. Many speculated about a possible reunion between Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson in Las Vegas. However, recent reports suggest that Wilson is leaning towards signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, making that reunion unlikely. With Wilson seemingly off the table, the Raiders will have to explore other options. The quarterback market is heating up, and the franchise must make a strategic decision to secure a reliable leader under center. Mark Davis is making it clear that he wants the Raiders back on top. The hiring of Chip Kelly, who signed a lucrative $6 million per year contract along with Olsen's return, sends a strong message that the owner is investing heavily in the coaching staff. Whether this approach will pay off remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the Raiders are determined to build a strong and competitive foundation, both on and off the field. Investing in top-tier coaches reflects the franchise's commitment to creating a winning culture. By bringing in experienced and innovative minds, the Raiders are setting the stage for a new era. Now it's up to the players to embrace these changes and execute on the field. If everything goes according to plan, this could be one of the most exciting seasons in years. With Olsen and Kelly at the helm, we can expect a faster, more creative, and unpredictable offense. The Raiders have plenty of talent, and with the right guidance, they could become a nightmare for opposing defenses. Success will depend on how quickly the players adapt to the new system and whether they choose the right quarterback to lead the team. If all the pieces fall into place, the Raiders could emerge as a real threat in the AFC. Now, I want to hear from you, Raider Nation. What do you think about Greg Olsen's return and Chip Kelly's arrival? Do you believe this new coaching staff can take the Raiders back to the playoffs? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is the perfect time to discuss the team's future and share your expectations for the upcoming season. The 2025 season is getting closer and the excitement is building. The coaching staff changes signal that the Raiders are serious about taking a new direction. With so many moves happening, it will be crucial to stay updated on every decision, especially when it comes to selecting the next franchise quarterback. If you want to stay on top of everything Raiders related, don't miss a single update. The next few weeks will be packed with news, and I'll be here bringing you all the latest developments. Will the Raiders offense finally come to life? Or is this just another crazy experiment doomed to fail? Chip Kelly is the new offensive coordinator, but does his philosophy still work in the NFL? And more importantly, how much of this decision was influenced by Tom Brady? Let's break it all down right now.